All right, what's going on, everybody? It is Thursday, May 25th, technically Friday. It's the last trading day, so let's see what we can do. Last night was pretty interesting, as you can tell. Um, all the pretty much these two columns here were just lit up with gold check marks. So there was a bunch of new trends. A lot of them continued. Mainly all the NZD pairs pretty much continued in that same direction. Uh, NZD JPY continued down. USD JPY continued up. GBP AUD continued up. I think we had Euro AUD for a rise, a continuation. Let me just double check to see what it's got a peak formation low, but we had it for a rise. If this thing wants to load, can't wait for the new version. All right. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is a 15-minute. It did. All right, that continued too. It's funny because all the pairs I just said, except for AUD JPY, I don't think that one continued. All the pairs I listed were continuations and they all moved, except for the two pairs that I'm in. I'm in a trade on USD Chief and Euro Chief. They went up in profit a little bit last night, but they didn't continue as hard as I thought. All the other ones though, they all continued. And I could have grabbed some of them, but they all got pushed up high. I was waiting for a pullback. I didn't get it, but I'm probably going to get it next week. It's probably going to have to be all reversals, but we'll take a look. So, and then gold. Gold was interesting. I've been waiting on this because I took a loss on this earlier this week. Had it for a buy around here, I think. And then I took the loss and it went up and then eventually went back down. But it was consolidating. And on the higher time frames, it was looking for a drop. So I'll go over that. We'll take a look at it. And then yeah, see what we can get tonight if there is any setups. I haven't looked at anything other than the two pairs I'm in. So let's get started. AUD, NZD. This had all the 2-day peak formations. All these were just gold check marks yesterday, right? So we just want to see what's available. So we got 2-day peak formation low and AUD, NZD. Let's check this out. Actually, I want to do this. I've been using a different EMA. I added the 500 EMA, which has actually been pretty interesting for how market moves around it, but we're going to see what else we can do. So AUD and ZD. Let's take a look. Did it break this high? No. So it's still got room, but it looks like it still wants to kind of pull back a little bit. That is a peak. Let's look at the weekly. Ooh. If the weekly closes up high, this could be set up for a reversal for the continuation. And then next week we would see something like this, where it would, and then reverse continuation, right? So we definitely want to be looking for some sort of, it might consolidate out because this massive push really pretty much hit the ADR. Let me look. If we go from the low, yeah, the ADR is 199. This thing's at 180 something. So if anything, it's done moving. This might just consolidate for the rest of the night. All the NZD pairs might. So I got to double. I'm gonna go through and double check. Let me see the daily. Yeah, it's in the daily 50 EMA too. So this might just be consolidating out. That's why it's getting ready for some sort of pullback. Not really divergent on the 4 hour. It is on the 1 hour though. So I mean, okay, so if anything, you're definitely waiting for a pullback to go down. It's either going to hit the water in the blueberry and continue up, at least maybe to the recent high, or it's going to pull back down and it's going to meet this 500 EMA or go down to the ADR low. I don't want to say predict the reversal. I definitely want to say let's continue with the overall direction the peak is going. So in that case, let's wait for some sort of stop hunt low and then a buy. That's ultimately what we want to see. The 4 hour, let me just double check this because it's been in a consolidation, but it looks like it actually broke right here. So we have trend line liquidity here. It's not the best one though. I would say this is the best one from here. there. It broke. So it looks like the trend line liquidity might be coming back for some sort of retest right onto this area, right where the water and the blueberry are. And then we look for that continuation up. You could take it to the next high. So if it does shoot down tonight and decide to actually continue moving, you could take it to the 50 pips. Or if you want to go ballsy and just say, hey, it's going to keep going, like go 81 pips and it's going to blow past the ADR. But if it blow past the ADR next week is going to be mainly consolidation. So we'll see what happens. Now we got Euro GBP. I did not trade this pair. I don't even think I went over it. Or yeah, we did. We did. It's a lot of pairs we went over. And okay, so it was a drop and a continue. So 2-day peak formation low. Euro GBP. This was the peak formation low. It was divergent, shot up, pull back down, stop hunt low, didn't take out this low. That was a clean setup. Now I just want to see on the 15-minute if there was actually some sort of shark fin or divergence. Definitely a shark fin, reverse back up. I mean, it's classic. I technically like looking for divergence because when I see the divergence on like a W formation on a smaller time frame, to me that's like golden because it's like, oh, they're tricking people and then they're gonna reverse. That's like my favorite thing because that's for sure. This one was a good W. It actually may have been something on a 5-minute chart. Let's see. Nope, really wasn't anything on the 5-minute. Actually, the 15-minute looks even better. Let's see. Yeah, I like it. So continuation, perhaps? Is it going to continue up? Well, the daily definitely seems like it wants to go up a little bit higher. Let me see the weekly. Setting up for that reversal. Did it form that low? Yep. So if this continues up tonight for the 1 hour, then we see the break of structure. It's going to go up to past here, which lines up with this. If it breaks up here, then we're looking for buys all next week, right? Because it's been consolidating. This is getting ready for something, some sort of move up. So I'll be paying attention. Still not really going to be trading this though, just for the fact that it's stuck in this consolidation. But we'll see. Now let's go to GBP Chief. We got a 2-day peak formation high with a new trend indication. Let's see. Do we want to take this for a trade, guys? GBP Chief. GBP Chief. All right. Well, it's definitely looking like a continuation down. Like it wants to shoot down to the oversold zone, which might actually line up with the recent low. So it's gonna go. It's not that far actually. The daily's throwing wicks to the highs. It's moving down slowly. What is this? And then let's go to the 4-hour. Oh, we'll go to weekly first. Yeah, it's stuck in that consolidation. Got a low. I mean, if this is going to continue, I want to see some sort of pullback. Like up, drop. Kind of like this. If I see something like that, then it's easier than for a sell. And you can take it down to this low right here. And the EMAs are super tight, so I got to be careful. What's the 15-minute sign? 15 minutes showing some divergence. So that could be promising for some sort of push up, but the volatility bands are super tight. That's the only thing I don't like is that, I mean, it's good for a continuation down, but it's not good for like a pullback area and then drop. So this might just be bouncing off this 13 EMA actually, and it bounces and then continues and it bounces and continues. So it's not my favorite pair, but we will see what happens. So if you're going to be trading this, I would at least take it to the low. I don't think there's anything lower. Well, there definitely is, but is there an institutional candle or a little supply zone for the 1 hour? So price is currently right here. You could probably see it go down to like this area. Where are we at? Probably down to this low. It's only going to move like 20, 30 pips. max that it's going to go is to the low. That's the max. Yeah. Or it would be some sort of institutional candle. So if we go over this way. This could be one. Or this. I would say this zone. This whole area, actually. Right? That would be like the place that it would most likely go to. Not too far. But you can still get some moves. Now let's check on gold. Okay. So this pair moves in the way. This was one of the ones I was waiting for. Hold on 1 second. Sweet. Okay. Gold, 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 go, 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 go. So the reason why overall I wanted this thing to drop was because of this. Said it. I'll say it again. We'll just shows you that this is just more proof as to why we look for these setups. But like, you have the bearish candle here, one big engulfing, and then the very next candle is bullish, but that bullish candle didn't take out the high of that bearish, the close or the open of that bearish candle. And that tells us every single time that this is the pullback and that we're waiting for the drop down. And we can actually see here that that wick. Let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see it. This wick is manipulation, right? Because you have the high from here and the high from here. It went up to retest it right before it decided to tank. And that was the drop from yesterday, 2 days ago. And then it broke structure here. So now that it broke structure, we're going to be looking for this thing to fucking drop to like down to the Mayo. This thing has to drop. And it's now just a matter of over the next week, either tonight or going in the early next week, we'll see pushes down to that point. I don't know how hard it's going to go. It's been due. If we look at the weekly and zoom out, like look at the highs, 1, 2, 3 hits to the high. The last one actually took out the equals of here. So these two are equal. Oh, no, they're not. You got one that's a little bit higher than this one. And then this one took out both of them. Wicked, dropped, and it's going to keep dropping. This thing's going to go right to the water. See how it hits the water every time? And then rides it, and then hits it, comes back to it, just touches it. This thing wants to drop at least 600 pips. And we're going to capture some of that. Just debating on whether or not that's going to be tonight. We'll see. I'm in other pairs right now. I don't need to go crazy on it, but if an opportunity presents itself, say a stop hunt high, I will definitely look for the sell. But a continuation here, oops. What did I do? A continuation here at this very moment is not, it's not objective. What's your reason for entering? You know what I mean? You need some sort of reason to enter at the moment. I don't see anything. So we're wait. But we're definitely going to be looking for continued sells over the next week. Chief JPY, we got a peak formation low, new trend. Let's check it out. Chief JPY. Let me go back to this one. Okay. Oh yeah, this shit's continuing too. Huh. And see the pattern here? Big bullish. X1 bearish, doesn't take out the open of the bullish candle. Continuation. So monthly, dude, this thing's at all-time high. And it doesn't look like it wants to slow down. It looks like it wants to keep fucking going. The 4 hour looks like it's going up. The hour looks like it's going up. It's hard to say, right? Because I don't like buying at highs, especially when it's a fucking all-time high. Like I don't have a point of reference to see where the heck it's gonna go. Like there's no recent highs or lows. So it's like we're in unknown territory for this pair. And I would say stick to the ADR. I mean, look at the ADR right now. So we got 344, right? So if I go down to here, if we look at the beginning of the week, what was the beginning of the week? This is Thursday. So this is Monday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So if we go from here to here, we're at 152 pips, and this thing's got an ADR of 344. So that kind of gives us more clarity on what we need to be looking for this pair, which is continued buys. So I would wait for either a pullback, or if you want to be ballsy, you can enter at the high and see what happens. But I mean, statistically, you're not going to pan out well. I'd wait for some sort of manipulation down, and then we look for the move up. So now let's look at GBP CAD 3-day peak formation low. I don't really feel like looking at this pair right now. It's just disturbing. It definitely is going up from a weekly standpoint because it's been pulling back and then it wants to kind of make that move up. So I'll be saying looking for buys is going to be your friend. But the daily kind of shows a sense of it wanting to drop too. This could pull back to the water and break through this Mayo. Let's see. Been respecting these EMAs though. Up, down, in between. Breaks it, rides it back down, goes up, drop. So it has some sort of respect for it. What the heck is this? What happened up here? What? How many pips is this? 195,000 pips? My goodness. I kind of want to just like place a trade and just see what happens if I were to ride it to that high. Flip a 100K account to like 100 million. But let's see. It's doing some sort of consolidation that makes me want to look for sells, where it's like going up like this gradually, but then it like wants to continue down to here. The TDI paints that picture too, where it looks like it just wants to like drop again. Now it could, continue like this and then take the drop. We want to wait 4 hour. Didn't take out this high. It's stuck in the middle. Even though this looks like it wants to go up too. So it could be like another push up and then a drop. It's hard to tell. I'm just gonna wait. I don't need to worry about this pair. There's better looking pairs. GBP NZD, it's blinking, so we got to be careful. I don't think we're gonna touch this pair tonight because of how many pips it moved. It's moved 500 fucking pips. Let's look at this. Yeah, this is ridiculous. From the low of the week to what might be the high of the week, 630 pips, 640 pips. That's ridiculous. And like you would think, oh, that's not a big move right here, right? That's not a big move. Well, take the low of the day. It's 155 pips, dude. Like, what? So my money is not for a continuation. I don't think it's going to continue. I think this thing's going to drop, or it's just going to kind of consolidate out like this. But each drop could actually be like a solid amount of pips. Like from here to here is like, I mean, that's 44 pips. Like that's not that's a lot for like if you capture it the right space. But I don't know. This might have some sort of like double top formation happen where it goes up towards this zone because that's supply and demand. So it could do that. Let me draw a little bit clearer for you guys. Could shoot up to like here. Right, if it does shoot up to here and it becomes like a shark fin on the TDI where it shoots out the volatility bands and drops, then we could be seeing something play out. That's pretty cool. So be patient on this one. I would just wait, honestly. It's blown out. Its ADR is 511. It's at 640. So now let's look at NZD peak formation high 3 days ago. So we are going to want to see. Ooh, if the weekly closes where it's at, this could be the pullback, so it could drop for another 2 weeks. Daily, it's definitely going down, but it's still an uptrend. It's still, well, short-term trend. So like this month, it's technically an uptrend, but if you look at the overall direction, like this was the direction here. So the 4 hour, this thing looks like it's getting ready to consolidate. It's divergent, right? Price going up. So this could be doing something like this, or it just consolidates out between the blueberry and the male. So we could actually see a buy, even though the peak formation is a high. This is overdue. Let's see. High of the week, low of the week, ADR was hit. 283. Yeah, this thing is pretty much done for. I would say this is just going to consolidate out as well. So just let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Not my favorite one. None of the NZD pairs. I'm on a call, bro. Let's see. USD cheap. Okay, this is the pair I'm in right now. I'm gonna see what we're capable of doing here. Do 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 do. All right. So the reason why I was very interested in buying this because of all the wicks down here, pushes up were going great. There was a peak formation low. How many days ago? 4. So if we go to like here, got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're down here, and it was continuing. There wasn't really anything kind of showing me that it was going to drop, other than what started to be a divergence right here. So you have the divergence here. You got divergence here, right? So that was the one thing that I started thinking about, and it shot up, and it looks like it kind of like pulling back right now. My overall estimate, in the 4 hours divergent too. But the thing is, what I've noticed throughout the years is that when this is the divergence right here, and you got the 4 hour divergence from here to here, this if this is going to be a continuation, worst case scenario is that it kind of drops a little bit more and then continues up. There is the chance, there is the well, the other things I've seen is where it just kind of continues up into this ADR high, into the zone, and it maintains the divergence even more and just sets it itself up for a later price to drop. So that's the only things that I'm kind of seeing at the moment. It also gapped down, right? So here's the end of the day from yesterday, and then 4 o'clock came around, which is 5 o'clock Eastern. This candle started, and it's filling in that gap. Now it's a matter of what's it going to do after this? Is it going to continue up, or is it going to push up and then continue down? That's what I'm looking for. I mean, if I had to take the loss, I'll take the loss, but I know for a fact that this thing is due to continue in that direction. If we look at the daily, there's no divergence. The only thing I see is this potentially coming back like this and then drop, continuing. So it could pull back, and that pullback is ultimately just a retest, but I think this is going to break. And on top of that, too, let me zoom in a little bit more, give you guys clarity. We had this candle push, then the bearish one that didn't take out the low of, or the open of the bullish. And then the next following days, I think we said earlier this week that this was going to continue up, and at least to the recent high. So now that it's here, no divergence. The only thing I see is potential pullbacks, riding the water, and then goes up, continues in that direction. So that's what my money's on. I'm just playing it out, seeing what happens, and then either I'll take the loss or I'll take the profit and be good to go. But overall, we're still good. So now let's see. Euro Chief. This is the other pair I'm in a trade in right now. I'm in a little bit more drawdown on this overall. And mind you, I've been like swing trading. So like I'll hold my trades for a couple days to a few days. It's not long-term swing trading. It's like I said, 2-3 days max. And it's cool because I don't really have to do any sort of like crazy analysis, just ride it out or let it hit its stop loss or let it hit its take profit. So let's go to Euro Chief right here. All right, weekly. The only thing I do like about this for a buy on the weekly is right here. Is so the candle pushed up, bearish candle here, and then continuation. Right, that's like ideally what we look for. I could be premature with it. We'll see. That's just the weekly. Oh, no, this is the daily. I'm sorry. I thought this was the weekly, but that was the daily. So this is okay. 4 hour. It is. Let's see. So the one thing I had a concern of was that it could drop down to like the low again, kind of like how gold did me, where I was overall in a buy, and then it shot down, hit the low. I got took my loss, and then it like reversed all the way back up and then some. And I was like, motherfucker. Motherfucker, how can you do this to me? Right? So it's super interesting. This closes in 24 minutes, is 4 hour. Don't really like the way it's closing, but I mean it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. The 1 hour, it's so the TDI can do two things, right? It can go and continue down and break through. And if that happens, then this is definitely going to break through and hit my stop loss. Or it's going to stay within the volatility bands here and kind of finish its consolidation. Like this pair might consolidate for the rest of the day, where it doesn't really go up here, but it doesn't actually go down here as well. So we have to see. Not like it looked way better from yesterday to see what was happening, but ultimately it is what it is. Let's see. Let me go to the 15-minute. There is divergence here. It's not the holy grail, but it is divergence. So shark fin went up, continued. Anybody that wanted to like day trade this could have entered in, like, I guess when it pulled back again. This pair doesn't move a lot, doesn't move quick. So we shall see what happens. But if I were to look at this, and if anybody's trying to see what they're doing in this pair, try to enter it, I would say don't enter it, just from an unbiased standpoint, right? Even though I'm in the trade right now, I would tell anybody like avoid this, like wait and see what happens. Just being completely transparent. Wait and see what happens. If it breaks up, awesome. I still have my money for a buy up. If it doesn't, it is what it is. Let me see the monthly. If the monthly wants to continue, I could be premature. It's all good. I'd be having pit babies. That's what happens when you don't pull out too soon. So now we have Euro Chief, Euro USD. I'll go over a few more because there's not many other gold check marks, and I don't really like doing 5-day peak formations. So let's check this out. Euro USD. I used to love this pair. I used to trade only base pairs, and now like doing the dashboard, I like barely trade them. They're just because they're not available. Nothing ever sets up for them. So, or it does set up, but I just don't see it because I'm more interested in another pair that looks even better. So 1 hour, 4-day peak formation, right? Peak formation high. So it's here. It's around here. We did have this for continuation. I do remember saying this. It was a continuation here the other night, and then it just did the same thing again. The 4 hour, so it did hit our initial profit target. So if anybody actually took these trades from up here, then you could have held this down to the blueberry, and that's exactly where it went. So that's cool. Let me see how far actually that was. 26 pips, not a lot of pips, but it's still some movement. But it hit the target. It's exactly where we wanted it to go. Now it could keep going a little bit farther. Once I go down to that Daily Mail, let's fucking do it. See what it can do, man. Weekly wants to go touch that water. So yeah, this is going to continue down, my opinion. It is divergent on the 4 hour, so I would expect some sort of stop hunt. Or if it decides to, like, say reversal, it could either go up to here and then drop, or it's going to continue up, break the high from yesterday, right up here, pull back, and then continue to go up towards that Mayo. And that would still be deemed the pullback, right? Because it didn't break any other significant highs. It needs to break this high right here. And then for sure, if it breaks this high, it's definitely going up. We just gotta wait. Just gotta wait and see, man. Gotta wait and see. It does look like it wants to continue up, to be honest. So it should be interesting. And then guess I can do US 30. And I'll do the two cryptos because I know one of you watches it. So US 30. Oops. All right. What was it? Peak formation high. 5 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, just continue down. Pretty sure we had it continuing down. It's breaking all the structures. Yeah, this is just it's hitting the 500 EMA though. Wicked right on it. That's something I've noticed with the 500 EMA on most pairs, is that it tends to wick off of it or hit it and then it reverses. Most of the time it reverses. Not all the time it does, but when it hits it, it tends to keep going. This thing looks like it wants to keep going. I mean, it's not the best because you got a high and a low. So you got price stuck in the middle, which is the no-go. But this might just consolidate out. There might not be much movement. So if it does move, I would patiently wait for a buying potential though. Because if you look at here where there is some divergence, price going down, price going up, right? And it just kind of, it's throwing the TDI like it's going to continue up in that direction where it goes like this. So if it does that, then this is going to go whoop. You could take it to the high. And on US 30, that's a good amount of pips because this is the 1 hour. So from here to here, I mean, that's 1,400 pips. You rack out, man. You'll fucking rack out. Or should I say points, right? Because it's an indice, it's not a forex pair. But yeah, well, look, that is what I would expect. I would wait for that to happen. Anything else, I don't think it's going to keep dropping yet. I think it's due for some sort of pullback, especially after hitting that 500 EMA. So now let's go to, I don't have the cryptos on here. Crypto. That was a lot of fucking crypto. To XRP. Oh yeah, doesn't really have that shit, but I'll do it anyway. So it broke that low. That's cool. So I didn't check this out the other day, but I was like, this thing has to drop to the low. And that's exactly what it did. So that's awesome. And now it's consolidating out. Weekly. This looks like it was a pullback this week for a continuation next week. Daily. They broke this structure from here. So it broke this structure here, shot back down, retested that structure, starting wicks. The TDI is showing more of an up formation. So I would be looking for buys on XRP over going into next week. That daily is showing really good price movement. 4 hours stuck between EMAs, but I still think it's going to continue. The 1 hour, it could consolidate here, or it's most likely going to consolidate though, because this is a small channel. And like I think price just broke out of it, to be honest. So if you look at here, geez. Yeah. It just broke out. It's waking all these places and it's bouncing off of them. It wasn't a shark fin, so that just tells me that it's continuing. I would just overall be looking for buys, to be honest. This might be the peak formation low, especially if it rises tonight, then this will definitely be the peak formation low, even though it doesn't show it, but that's what I'd be looking for. So, all right. Does anybody have any questions or any pairs they want me to go over specifically? That I didn't go over. Maybe you guys are wanting me to do anything before I end this. Let me fix this. Anybody? All right, cool. Well, it's Thursday, technically Friday, so I will see you guys next week. That next week is the last week that I'm doing this for free. If you guys want to join in on the paid version, we will have that up and running next week. I also am going to have a free version. I'm going to set a Discord link inside this group chat just to have you guys come in, where I'm going to essentially be dropping peak formation. So I'm going to pick a peak that out of all the ones that we see here, and one that instead of just giving you the analysis of every single one, I'm just going to take a picture of one or two that are solid, and then you got to do your own analysis and kind of figure it out. And then I'm going to be dropping one analysis free per week. I don't know a specific day on that. I think that's mainly going to be based on whether or not I like that day. So if I like that day for setups, I'll post that one free analysis. Because I know if I were to just stick to it being on like every Monday and that analysis has nothing there, and you guys get no value. But I mean, it's up to you. So let you know what that's like. If you guys have any questions in regards to that, just hit me up on Telegram, message me privately. I'll answer your questions. And we are going to have a version of the dashboard too. It's going to be really cool. So yeah, with that being said, I'll let you guys go. Everyone have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Peace out.